My name is Tavish. I was born June 28, 1985. I always remember seeing drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes being idolized in movies, media, remembering that I wanted to experience life to its fullest. Dare seemed more to encourage drugs to me rather than discourage making. It seemed like it was cool to use. Early wasn't accepted in schooling until high school. I had my first encounter with smoking cigarettes in 7th and 8th grade, and I moved on to pot in the ninth. Always been considered to be a nerd and highly intelligent, um, but being a stoner kind of is where I fit. Um, I found an identity being a stoner. I felt kind of loved and accepted. I grew up in a Mormon household, so using wasn't really something that was widely accepted. Um, 10th grade is where I met a friend. I thought he was the coolest dude. He introduced me to cocaine, and one night I spent the night over there. We did mushrooms and cocaine, and watched, Marilyn Manson's "God Is in the TV" and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Um, this is where I broke the law as a adolescent, and he moved away about halfway through the year. About that is when I started hanging out with a friend named Scott. Me and him did drugs together. By the way, he's an addiction counselor now. Um, his mom was on a lot of fentanyl. Uh, he would steal his mom's opiates, and we would get high. Um, I did opiates on and off throughout high school, but in high school I was kind of like the cocaine guy. But I did just about anything I could get my hands on. On my 11th birthday, I bought an ounce of coke and did a quarter of it just to myself. So two 8 balls of coke to myself that one night. My junior year, I was like the cocaine king of school. At least I thought I was. And that's when my brother overdosed on coke on Christmas Eve. Shit that I had gotten him. I ended up fixing my shit in school and graduated on time in 2003. I had a bad breakup with a girlfriend that I loved very much, and it was a weird 18th birthday when I was using meth. I moved to Pennsylvania 2004, about 6 months. I got clean, more or less. I got a job at Safeway, and eventually like a bakery manager-ish position. I met a guy in the neighborhood who was on Oxycontin, and I've been in back pain ever since I was about 6 years old. But my back pain really flared up then. And eventually I was prescribed 380 Oxy 80s and 4 Roxy 30s every single day. Well, this wasn't enough eventually, and I ended up using heroin on top of all that. I eventually lost my job at Safeway in 2010. This is when I met a girlfriend, and I didn't know at the time, but it would be a fairly rough road ahead. I quit everything cold turkey about that time to try to help support my girlfriend and the kid. I went to HVAC school where I got 4.0, and I got top technician in my class. Um, I got a new car. Only drank here and there. I remember I went from not being able to use a wrench or drill to being able to troubleshoot and tell guys with 30 years of experience how to do their job, more or less. I surpassed, my technical skills and a lot of some of theirs. 2015, I left my commercial industrial HVAC job for residential HVAC work. I was sent to Minneapolis, St. Paul to get more training. Um, and I was considered to be the most technically advanced of my peers. Um, I got the best job of my life in 2016. I flexed my technical prowess when I became a comfort advisor, and I was no longer just a technician. I was a salesman. I surpassed and impressed everyone by making sale after sale. And in 2017, was my best and worst year of my life. I got into my own head and I relapsed into heroin. This time I wasn't shooting it, I was smoking it. At the end of June and July, I got an award for being one of the best selling technicians for their top level um, equipment. Um, well, that same month I was depressed and I drove up top of Lookout Mountain. I put a gun in my mouth and I looked out over the metro area with my fully loaded Kimber 1911 in my mouth, and I wanted to die. I hated who I was, despite my success. Ultimately, I decided I couldn't do that to my mom. I lost my job to drug abuse and bounced around HVAC company to HVAC company between 2018 and 2021. But never again will I see the same success. 2019, my oldest sister died. In 2020, I was introduced to fentanyl blues, and that was a game over for heroin. The end of 2021, I started, cheating on the person who I was with at the time, and met probably the most toxic person in my life. The most toxic person in my life, sorry. This was a nightmare scenario. This person fucked with my head so badly that I stopped working and I couldn't do shit, so I ended up selling all my tools. 22 and 2 was a shit show. I stole a car. Then I got high and need to take a shit, so I went into a building and got a charge for burglary. But at the end of that, all that I have now is a trespassing charge on me. So I got lucky. I went to a place called West Pines in December 2022. And as soon as I got out, I was told to stop taking my Suboxone so I could be put to sleep with fentanyl. Immediately when I got out, I relapsed. And that's when I wound up in jail. Got a job after that at Amazon, and that was kind of game over because I had money and I kept buying blues and I didn't want to get high. And then I finally ended up in West Pines again in March, and that kind of more or less brings me to this point now. As of this time of recording, I have 70 days of sobriety, and I just wanted to put my story out there to help anybody that I can help. So I've invited friends to become a part of this channel. let their stories be heard, and to give hope and inspiration to others. Thank you.